always kept a journal of some kind, and I've always kept multiple journals, so I'm really excited to show you what that looks like. So this is how I journal and how it serves me, how I use it in my everyday life. I think it's really inspiring and lovely to see all these people, all kinds of different people sharing how they use a journal. There is no right or wrong way to use it, and I think everyone approaches it differently. But a journal is just your tool. It's just however you want to use it. So you might want to take inspiration from this video and how I use my journal, or you might see someone else's. You might come up with your own system. It's really something you can let evolve with you and what works for you. These are my 3 different journals. They all serve a different purpose. The first is my journal for admin and organization. The second is my journal for creativity. And the third is my journal for personal growth and spirituality. So this is my journal that I use for organization and for day-to-day to-do lists. It's probably the journal that I am the least consistent with. I only just got this one from Papier, and already I have not used it for any kind of organization whatsoever. I've just used it to plan my outfits for the book tour. But I do have the rest of the year to fill it up. Last year I used this beautiful journal from, I think it's Cath Kidston. And I just loved it. I fell so in love with all of the patterns and how beautiful it felt. So it was the first time I'd bought a journal like this, and look at that, how gorgeous that is. One thing I really liked about this journal is that it has your monthly goals and things that are important, which I found really nice to kind of zoom out and just remember what was important for me for that month. So I did use that function, but for day to day, I really barely used it. I'm still grateful that I kept it up though, because I love looking back on my goals from last year and just seeing how things have changed for me. It's hard to remember how much you get done and how much you achieve, so if anything, keeping a journal like this is just a really nice way to keep track of your goals and the things that you've achieved. But yeah, in terms of consistency, this I fail at all the time. I use it for a week and then I forget about it for months, and so if you're like that, don't feel bad. I am the exact same. I like the intention behind it, so I keep getting journals like this and hoping that I use them. And then by contrast, this is the journal that I'm the most consistent with, something that I've kept up with since I was about 8 years old. This is my junk journal / art journal / everything journal. This is the journal where I paste random bits and pieces that I've collected, where I express myself creatively and just let my ideas flow. It's such an important part of my creative practice and how I feel creative without pressure. I also use it as a way to document my memories, so whether that's just pasting Instax photos or little bits and pieces that I've collected. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of writing and just reflect on the memories. This is from our Brisbane Scrap and Yap event, which was so much fun. And it's just a beautiful way for me to visually remember my memories. That's my boarding pass for Brisbane, a flyer from the cinema I went to with my mum and my sister. This is my eye mask. But as well as using it as a junk journal, something that I paste bits and pieces in and write little thoughts in, I also use my journal just as a place to sketch and dump my ideas. So a lot of the pages are not as pretty as that. A lot of the pages have just random sketches and ideas. My head is always full of a million different ideas, so it feels really good for me to put them on a page and put pen to paper and just let them live somewhere else besides my head. And then in the back of my journal, I usually just store a bunch of little things, some spare stickers. This is a promo postcard for my new journal. Little washi tape samples, little papers. These are some fabric samples for new journals that I'm designing. Lots of little scraps. This is a note from Rachel, like I'm gonna paste in my journal at some point. A lot of you liked this one, which is great to know because I really love this one too. But for now, they'll just live in the back of my journal. I think above all, it's really important to have a journal that you feel free to use however you like, and that is definitely this journal for me. This is where I can be authentically myself, not worry about the final outcome, and just use it as a space for my creativity. And finally, we have my most private journal, which I never ever share with anyone. This is just a random journal that I picked up at a church flea market, and I just fell in love with it. This is the journal that inspired me to start making journals because I loved that it had a fabric cover. It's got this plastic protectant, but underneath it's this beautiful vintage fabric, and then this gold title which says 2-year diary, but I've obviously covered that up and just written Diary of Martina with a little label maker. And then on the back I've put my Thought Daughter sticker because that's what this book is. This is my Thought Daughter activities book. This is where I dump my brain. My brain goes in this journal. I apologize in advance because most of this is going to be blurred because this is a deeply personal journal that I don't share with people. It's where I write down quotes that inspire me. It's where I write long scripts for manifesting my future. It's where I talk to God and the universe, and it's how I really just stay in touch with myself and in touch with my inner world. I'll often write letters to myself or to my future self or to my inner child. I'll write letters to people that I'll never send, or when I really need direction. This is the journal that I will open, and I definitely don't use it as a calendar journal. I just turn to random pages, but there's still a lot of pages to be filled. So those are my 3 journals: my admin journal, which I don't use that much, my junk journal, which I use all the time, and then my personal journal, which I use when I need it. Definitely comment below if you have your own journaling system. I would love to hear how you use journals. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week.